Hello, this is Elin Petronella from the Charles and Ellen Academy, and today I'm here with a little chat with me and stitch along of my current work in progress. This is just a freehand stitching. I call this style thread sketching because what it really is me pretending that my canvas is a piece of paper and my needle and floss is the ink. And this season of life, I'm really reconnecting with what it was that made me fall in love with hand embroidery in the first place. And it is this tactility, the added 3D element to a regular sketch. I always love drawing, I sketch a lot, and I kind of had this moment of falling out of love a little bit with embroidery, these rigid following instruction patterns, these types of things. And I was like, And I've gotten back to doing more of these thread sketching work, and it's just bringing me life. And so in this new year, I really wanted to be doing more of it. I want to be designing more spaces, such as the one in the previous video about the terrace life in Provence. And if you didn't see that, I'll put a link to it in the description below. But designing spaces and just imagining places that brings me joy and makes it fun, because I think that's what life is about, right? Engaging in things that brings us joy and makes things fun. And hand embroidery is just this perfect blend of the tactility that brings a lot of such satisfaction and fulfillment, but equally, it allows you to realize these images that you've got going on in your mind. So I just thought I will do a few stitches together. How I design these spaces, I always start with the essence. So what is it that is like the key in this image? I started with the table and the two chairs and these coffee cups. So I'm imagining that this is like a cozy seating area. I then expanded with the window and kind of like hinting with these lines that it's a building, right? More especially with the way the structures are built out, stitched out. I'm inspired, as you know, a lot by France. And so I'm about 30 minutes from the French border here where I now live in Belgium. I added these graphical lines because I feel as though this enhanced just the depth and the perspective, got more social and just added these two. And then I thought, I need something in front. It became a bit too big, like not at all cozy anymore if all of this would just be these tiles. I'm also considering to paint this after, by the way. We'll see if I do that. There are a few rules of thumb. I'm not sure if that is the best word. I'll zoom in a little bit. But when I do thread sketching, I kind of try to avoid undoing. Of course, I completely messed that up just because I'm filming. I'm not used to this anymore. Anyway, I'm not going to, in the spirit of thread sketching, where I try to not redo stitches but rather add more stitches, just like I would if this was an actual ink sketch. So an ink sketch, you cannot undo your line. You just kind of have to find a way to sketch your way around it. And so that is the principle that I apply when I do thread sketching as well. That if there's a stitch that I make that is not in the ideal place of where I wanted it to be, I'm not going to sweat about it. I will just kind of find a way to stitch my way around it, add a few extra stitches. And so I'm in that spirit not going to refilm this and restart it. I will just leave that mistake in there. Truly, part of, I feel, it's such a, like, I don't know how to best explain it, but I feel as though 2025, it's January 2025 as I'm filming this, and I feel this shift in the air. It's so much fear, it's so much like worry going on, so much stress, so much I feel as though there's all this disconnect from what life is really about. And so it makes me as I guess a counter movement type of person, makes me even more passionate about the slow life of art and like prioritizing making art. making art, I think, is what brings that little golden edge to your everyday life, and it's what allows you to forget about these everyday stressors and just be grounded in the present. And these thread sketches, and also, well, relating to the little mistake in the video, makes it for a very human, like, imperfect experience. There's not a single perfect line here. There's not a single perfect stitch here. And that is just so liberating. It doesn't have to be perfect. If there's anything that motherhood, being a mother in the past 4.5 years, has really taught me, that, you know, there's never going to be a perfect moment. Charles is down with the kids right now. They're watching some show or something, and I just thought, all right, I'm gonna sneak upstairs. I'm committed to my dream. I'm committed to my goals of this year to show up more here and invite you into this space, and how I just feel that the things that in the past one could maybe feel guilty about, like, oh, why am I doing this, or why is this important? I feel that I'm finally realizing that, well, this is it. This is truly what brings that sparkle and what makes it so important. Yeah, that became really philosophical rant, but that's what's on my mind right now. All right, I'm going to attach it on the back. I just do a very easy knot on the back. I try not to think too much, like, maybe that's why I'm rambling, but it's about being guided by intuition, by being guided, allowing the I'm actually going to try to keep 4 strands of this, if I'm able to thread the floss. Yeah. It's about daring to let go of perfectionism and control. Like, we cannot control everything. I mean, definitely not. We can't control really anything, but we can control how we choose to spend our free time. We can control whether we choose to sit and mindlessly scroll on social media, or whether we choose to actively engage in practices that refuels us. And so now that I found this little pocket of time, I just thought, well, instead of me feeling that I should get to some admin work, or I should, clean the kitchen, I was like, no, I am going to go upstairs and do 10 minutes of thread sketching, which fuels me for the day, and share that with you in the hopes that it gives you some inspiration to maybe try some thread sketching too. Oh, and by the way, if you think that this looks really, really cool, I actually have a class on it that I did a couple of years ago. So it's not really planned for this particular video, but if you are interested in learning more about the principles of thread sketching, I will put the link to that class below. It's like an introduction to sketching theory applied to the embroidery medium. And yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Right now, what's going on in my mind as I'm stitching these leaves, by the way, I have 4 strands doing just pretending that each stitch kind of serves like a leaf, that each stitch is like a leaf. And so that is why I consciously shift the direction, because leaves growing on trees are not exactly all going in the same direction. That would just make it flat. I'm kind of going up and down along the different branches to enhance this natural randomness that adds a lot of life to a scene. And so what I'm currently thinking in the back of my mind, or reflecting on, is just whether I will keep it this small, or whether, to balance out this side, whether I will keep growing the tree bigger. I don't know. Maybe put in the comments, what do you think? I feel as though the fact that I've pulled this, and this, by the way, I thought was really, really cool. It adds kind of like a unique touch to it. And oh, did you see the cat? I love this cat. I don't even have a cat, but I decided to thread sketch a cat there. I feel like that, pulling that out, maybe actually I should add something over here as well. It could also be trees growing in the background, but that I should add something here so that this is the main area with things going on. Yeah, so many possibilities, so many possibilities. I'll finish this floss together with you as well, and then I will wish you a wonderful day. In case you're wondering, what I'm stitching on is actually an already stretched canvas that I purchased in the local art supply store. And it's not ideal in the sense that it does create holes. You might notice that there are some holes here. I don't think it's a huge problem either, because of the convenience of it already being stretched. It just makes it very, very easy to just get going. And when you are, or if you have had a creative rut, mine has been way too long than I dare to admit. It almost even feels shameful because it's really my job. But it's been very long, and so I've been lowering the bar massively with regards to what I can and cannot do, because at the end of the day, it's only been myself limiting. And so I saw these canvases and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna stitch my thread sketching pieces straight onto them. When I add some paint potentially later, I will be covering the holes up. I can also choose to cover them with some more stitches. Again, the options are endless, but really the key here, the most important, is to do the art. You can always perfect and improve it later, and each art piece also teaches you what to do differently next time. The reason why these creates these holes is because this canvas, I mean, it's a cheap canvas. It's already been treated, whereas the ideal would probably be to just stretch up a piece of fabric that is untreated, and then you wouldn't have this issue, just as if you would put it in a hoop. But hey, can't be perfect. I'm loving the process, and that is what I choose to focus on today. Okay, don't miss to check out the course about thread sketching and the principles of thread sketching in the link below if that excites you. We've also got loads of free resources, not only here on this YouTube, which, by the way, I'm committed to invite you into my art attic studio here at home, doing these kind of relaxed chat and stitch sessions together. And we also got free resources, a free beginners class in the Charles & Elin Academy as well. You know, I'll just put all the links below. All right. I can't wait to see you in the next one. All right. Bye.